Is your debt causing you sleepless nights? Knock your debt out with Debt KO. And your debt won't be the only thing keeping you up at night. Debt KO, free, impartial advice on all your debt.
Raz Zabani for IFL TV in association with MTK Global. With me today on Zoom, got my man Qais Ashfaq. Qais, firstly, how are we doing?
Not bad. Always a pleasure being on the call with you.
How's day 4 of lockdown going?
Oh, it's tough, man. But luckily, I can still train in the gym, which helps in the boxing gym. So I'm only really here, not home on the weekends. So through the week I'm over there training still. So in terms of that, doesn't affect anything a huge amount, which is good.
Qais, it's been a couple of weeks for you to kind of just gather your thoughts, look at kind of what went wrong. Your first professional defeat kind of shocked a lot of people because everybody thought this will, you know, with Leach obviously fighting normally at a lower weight category, they thought this fight was ideal for you. You've sparred before, you know each other very well, but kind of what went wrong for you?
It was just on. I don't like to make excuses. You know, all credit to what he managed to achieve on the night. But yeah, it was a few little factors that I don't really want to, like I said, I don't really want to make excuses. So I've not really said anything really. But the main thing is that I do want that rematch, and I do believe that I was still the better fighter on the night. He got lucky with a couple of moments, and the second knockdown for me shouldn't have been counted. And with that, I'd have probably won the fight. But what's happened, you know.
He seemed a lot bigger on fight night. Like he seemed more filled out. Seemed like
he did.
Yeah, Mark. Yeah, Leach. He felt a lot.
He's a big bantamweight. He's not. He's a good sized bantamweight. As you could see, even height wise, I'm quite tall for a super bantam, and height wise, he wasn't much different to me neither. So he's a big bantamweight. But no, nothing. I'll be honest with you, nothing really affected me in terms of him so much. Like even that first knockdown, it wasn't so much his power. It was more I made a mistake and I fell straight into it. And as you could see, both knockdowns, they were very scrappy. Second one shouldn't even been a knockdown. That should never have been counted. But the first one, the only reason I accept the first one is because even though it was scrappy and close, there was a shot over the top that he threw. So that made sense to why the ref called it a knockdown. But it wasn't so much that he was really, really strong or anything. It wasn't so much that I was even hurt. It was more the first one, especially just caught him by surprise. And that was it. Nothing really in terms of mark affected me. And that's why I want the rematch, because I feel like on my worst night, on his best night, it was still a pretty close fight. And like I say, there were contributing factors to me not performing. As you know, everyone's been telling me when they watched the fight, just didn't let me at all in there. It just wasn't me, and that's that just shows how if it was me, and I'd perform the way I can, and I'd beat him all day long. But he had a very, very lucky night, and that's what you put it down to.
You say you wasn't happy with the lockdowns. We saw his frustration on your face when the referee was giving you a count. But did he at all give you any explanation on anything on the knockdowns, on why he gave it the knockdown? Because obviously you weren't clearly happy with those decisions.
I didn't see the referee afterwards, but I don't know. It felt like all night it was on my case. it seemed to be very. I don't know, for whatever reason, he was very much on my case. Even throughout the fight, when I was thinking, I've never done that, but I'm getting warned. What am I getting warned for? Half the time he warned me, I didn't know what I was getting warned for. But like I say, what's happened happened. For me, like I said, I'm a very religious man anyway, so I do believe whatever's meant to be is meant to be. I still believe, like I say, I was a better fighter on the night. When I watched it back, and I scored it myself, it was a close fight, and without a knockdown, I should have really won the fight. And funny enough, I looked on BoxRec to see the scores, of the fight on the night, and I didn't know this until I looked at BoxRec, but there's 3 judges, and then there's 2 people scoring the fight from outside the ring as well, or just outside the ring. And them 2 just outside the ring had me winning. So it shows how close the fight was. But yeah, like I say, whatever's happened for me. I don't make no excuses. For me, he just had a lucky night, and on my worst night, on his best night, it was still a close fight, and I still think I should have nicked it without that second knockdown. But yeah, like I say, we move on. I'm looking forward to getting back in the ring as soon as possible and making the wrongs right. And I still believe I'll get to the top. I have firm belief and faith in that, so I'm looking forward to showing that.
You mentioned you rewatched the fight. Did you look at yourself and watching it and thought, I did that wrong, I did this wrong? Were there things that you think you could have improved on?
That's the thing with a loss, right? You're a bit more critical of yourself. I'm critical of myself anyway, but with a loss, you're probably a bit more critical in many ways. And yeah, for me, I've probably learnt more from that, all the wins, just because when you win, you're thinking, yeah, I'm doing everything right, When you do take that first loss, it's like, what happened? What went wrong? And you're very critical of every little thing then. So yeah, I do believe it could be a bit of a major learning curve, really, because like I say, I'm a lot more critical now. And like I say, I'm looking forward to showing what I've seen in that fight, and the little things that maybe I'd shrug off before in terms of things I need to improve on. But now I'm concentrating on every little bit. I'm looking forward to showing that in the next moments, hopefully.
Obviously, I know you made some changes in your team at the time with bringing Angel Fernandez in. I know you relocated to Loughborough during the week as well. But how did kind of Angel assess the fight, and how did he say you did with your performance?
He was very similar to me. There were mistakes that I made. But the thing was, for me and him, the thing was, we've only been working together for 3 months. So in a 10-round fight, maybe the things that I'd hit or we both wanted me to do, sometimes don't come across, especially when you get tired, you get fatigued. You might go back to what you used to do. And I believe that's what happened in parts of the fight. But yeah, like I said, we've only been working together for 3 months, and there's no change for me and my team from that because of that performance, because I still do believe he's right now the best coach for me, and that's why I'm sticking by him. And yeah, with a bit more time together, I believe the improvements that we have been making will show even more, and it will a lot better fight.
I know you're travelling back and forth from Leeds to Sheffield, Leeds to Leicester weekly, but
Loughborough.
Loughborough, yeah, Leicester, same thing. Come on, Qais.
Not far.
But are you changing anything in terms of anything else? I know you're not changing the dynamics of the team, but in terms of, strength and conditioning, learning boxing, sparring, are you doing anything different now that you didn't do before?
It's just technical stuff. When you say before, do you mean in the last camp, or
Last camp?
do you mean as in the coach that I left, or?
No, the last camp that you just had with Angel, the first camp, this one.
No, yeah, like I say, there's a few different changes, but it's mainly just technical stuff, really. And the more I do the technical stuff, as you know, repetition is key. And the more I'm doing the things, the more it'll come out when it's needed, and it'll be second nature. And that's, like I say, when you've only been working with someone for 3 months, and you've had I've been boxing for about 19, 20 years, and I've only worked with Angel for 3 months. That just shows there that you might go back to something that you used to do before, which to be honest with you, in that fight, it wasn't so much a bad thing, because for me, like I say, most of the rounds I was winning, he got them 2 knockdowns, which one, like I say, one shouldn't have been knocked down, but they were scored either way. So that's nothing that I can do about that now. And that's what won in the fight. So for me, like I say, in terms of round by round, but the knockdowns got him through. So yeah, like I said, well, it's just little things that we're working on that will come. They'll definitely come with a bit more repetition. I'll be able to show it in my performances.
In terms of the team behind you, I know you've recently joined 258, Angel, Eddie. Is the rematch unanimously what everybody wants?
Yeah, I believe so. In terms of 258 and my coach and all that sort of stuff, yeah. And like I said, the first interview I had, I said straight away, I want the rematch. But yeah, whether it's gonna be made or how hard it's gonna be to make it, that we're yet to see. But I'm hoping we can make it as soon as, so I can right that wrong and move on, basically.
We know Dylan White obviously got defeated in August. He jumped straight back in the rematch, which has been cancelled, and some people say it's a blessing in disguise, and it gives him a bit more time to kind of just get himself in the best possible shape. But for you as well, with the lockdown coming, more restrictions, a lot of fighters to get out for Eddie as well. Do you want to kind of take your time before you want to go in the rematch? Kind of, you don't want to jump in the rematch in January, February. You want to just wait a few more months to give you that time.
Yeah, I'm happy with whatever the team decide. Like I said, I want the rematch, whether it's now, whether it's in 2-3 fights. I want the rematch. So, like I say, on that night, it was just everything. The way everything went just wasn't meant to be. It was just like I say, as you could see from the performance, there was things behind the scenes that just didn't go right, and it was just on that one night that it wasn't meant to be. So, yeah, for me, even if I had a box the next day or the week after, I'd have beat him. But it was just that one night where the way things went, and just the way things went, it just felt like it wasn't meant to be as well. I look back on it later on. But like I say, I'm a firm believer in God, and I believe in God's plan, and we can't judge that plan, and everything happens for a reason.
Do you think Mark wants his rematch?
I don't know. From what I know of Mark as a person, I don't see why not. He's a very much he's game for a fight, whether him seeing how the fight went, seeing how it wasn't me in there, and thinking he might not be so lucky next time. I don't know, like I say, but I do believe Mark will want the fight. Like I said, that's just speculation though. He might not. His team might say no. I don't know, but I want the fight. That's all I know.
Yeah, no, of course, absolutely. Guess wish you nothing but the best in preparation. Obviously, with hopefully you get the rematch. Wish you continuous health and safety as well during this crazy COVID-19 kind of lockdown that we've got. I appreciate jumping on this afternoon, giving me a little bit of your time, and we'll catch up with you very soon.
Next time we have an interview, we'll be in higher spirits, I promise.
100%, of course, without doubt. Qais Ashfaq, IFTV. Thank you very much.
Top man.
Is your debt causing you sleepless nights? Knock your debt out with Debt KO. And your debt won't be the only thing keeping you up at night. Debt KO, free impartial advice on all your debt.